We can get started. Good. So, theme today, stubbornness. Quite a bit to look at. But first, let's build a good chi field. We do need a lot of openness for stubbornness. So maybe we can create a beautiful open chi field. So just bring your awareness inside, drawing your vision in. Bringing your awareness to your breath. Just observing how it is right now, and if you feel like changing anything, making it deeper, or doing a good exhalation, just allowing the flow of the breath to relax your physical body. So you feel into your body, giving it the instructions to relax, the information of relax, letting go, of melting, softening, whatever works for you. And you may notice special areas in your body where you carry more tension. So give these areas a little bit more awareness and a little bit more love and attention and the information of whatever is needed coming up for you. It might even be, it's okay. It's okay. We don't force anything, ever. So just use your exhalation to scan through from the top of the head all the way down into your toes and relax. And as your physical body finds some letting go, also the mind lets go. All connected, nothing working separately from each other. And then just feel that emptiness and spaciousness inside. That beautiful first verse of the 6 verses. Experience it. And as you experience this inside, it's already unifying with everything. Becoming one with the universe. All empty and spacious. What a peace. Full place. Calm. Still. Vast and open. And in that space you can feel the awareness for Gongqing. Because you are everything in this place. Wow. In that being unified, there is so much respect for all. And just Feel that compassion and love for you and in you. Feel your heart. Can you allow it to open even further? To become that spaciousness. And then let's unify in that open space with each other's hearts. Feel the gong jing in that. The joy. The beauty. And then let's open out even further with our beautiful heart. Connect to Yuanzi, Melissa, Norberto, Dore, every Renshia practitioner we know and we don't know. Opening further out to all the people we love, we like, all the people we don't like. Can you allow that to happen? Can you open your heart unconditionally to everybody? Just see the gong jing when you allow yourself to do that without judgment. People with other views we have, they also deserve our openness and our gong jing. And our true self is not hesitating one moment to give that. Can you sense it? Can you sense the potential of that type of openness? And if it feels hard, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. No judgment for ourselves neither. Gong jing for whatever we feel. Openness for whatever we feel. And as you open out to the things which is easier to open out, like all the living beings in the world, animals and insects, plants. Feel the peace And then even all the things in our world, which is again a little bit harder to find that openness to things. Can be lots of judgment there too about what are good things and what are not good things. But let's allow ourselves to open to all the things, or at least try to. We need trust for this. Trust that that's okay. Trust that that's not going to cause any safety issues. So connect to this trust in your true self, because your true self doesn't have a problem to connect to anything and everybody. Trust that. And then trust also the universe. And then bring your awareness back to your breathing. To your beautiful body. Which is allowing you to have all these beautiful experiences in life. All these learnings the universe is giving us the opportunity to make. Feel the gratitude for that. And then keeping a nice openness in your heart. We're going to move into some reading and talking on stubbornness. So as I wrote in my email, when I tried to decide on the pattern, and I didn't remember stubbornness, I thought actually that's something which is a good sign for me to use that pattern. And while I was writing the email, I made that realization that, because I kind of was thinking, yeah, stubbornness, but I'm not really, such an obvious stubborn person. I knew that there is stubbornness in my life, but I'm not one of these stereotypical stubborn people. So I knew there is something deeper to look at. And then I made that realization during writing the email about how stubborn I'm in hiding and avoiding. And I've been working on that hiding and avoiding of my true self for quite a while now. And can see how stubborn the holding on to that feeling of fear of not being safe is actually how stubborn, that pattern wants to keep protecting me of whatever it thinks it needs to protect me of. So I thought, yeah, I can see this very clearly now. So I want to just start with two quotes. The first one is the last two sentences in the text, in the book, in our manual, and that is, stubbornness is like a wall we build between ourselves and others. And I can see also between ourselves and our true selves. It blocks our connection and communication with them. Only when we tear down this wall we can truly enjoy happiness, freedom, and development of life. And, you know, it's quite easy to, when you read that last sentence, like feeling a bit, oh yeah, you know, I'm not happy, I'm not free fully, I'm not developing my life to its fullest. That's not true neither. I think ultimately, yes, you know, that true happiness, that true freedom, that true development of life is going to be happening when I can, you know, take away the stubbornness of all the patterns in our lives, you know, not just hiding and avoiding, or like Yonsei, I didn't remember that, but Jay told me the other day that Yonsei said in one of the retreats that stubbornness is one of these patterns which is underlying all other patterns. And there are a few of these patterns who, you know, and I when he said that, I thought, yeah, that's true. You know, every pattern we're working on is pretty stubborn to stay in our life. So it is right there, ever present. But that doesn't mean that life is not good and that life is not, you know, amazing, and that I can't feel to a certain extent free. But I can also see, as we all see with our beautiful people in our community and outside of our community who have reached a different level of realization and wisdom, that there is so much more we can experience. But it's sometimes easy to, for me at least, to feel that until I feel that, you know, I'm there, feeling that part, it's not good enough. And that's not true, because the path is so beautiful and important. And I find that path actually really, really exciting, because when we are there, then we are there, you know, then that's a different thing. But that path to get there, it's really quite special. I think we should enjoy it much more than we do sometimes. We should appreciate, and that's why Yansei, I think, is always pointing out that every day is a beautiful day, because there is so much beauty in that path we are walking. So that's the first quote I wanted to read. And then I actually, I don't know what what I did. I thought, oh yeah, I want to read out that other bit I had in my memory. And then I realized, oh, that's actually not on stubbornness. What I thought about reading out was actually one of the Tongyan startings of the stage 1. And I wasn't sure anymore which one it was, but I had the right intuition. It was openness. Okay, so I'm just going to read us out. You can find it here. Okay. So, first stage of openness. When a person's heart is not open, their whole life will be affected, including their health and growth. Life will be condemned to isolation, withdrawal, and self-imprisonment. This is fertile ground for breeding apathy, fear of change, stubbornness, oversensitivity, insecurity, lack of joy, pessimism, and arrogance. Relationships can have difficulties, and accepting or receiving what life offers can be challenging. Life can feel like a dead end with little hope and very few opportunities. This is an unnatural and unhealthy state for the heart. And I think in some way we probably can all recognize ourselves a little bit in some of these words in here. But again, it doesn't mean that until we are the, perfectly open-hearted people, it can't be beautiful. Yes, the journey is beautiful. Let's just close the eyes for one moment. I would like you to go into your heart and connect to the beauty of this journey, to the excitement of this journey. Even if it's sometimes tough, even if it's sometimes hard and sad and frustrating and all these things, it's still part of the beauty of that journey. So let's really appreciate that journey. And the end part, or the whatever we want to reach, is there. It is there in our awareness. It's there in our intention. But it's not where our focus is, because then we take away from what is right happening now, which is being on the path, which is having to look at the things, look at the pain, look at the hurt. And out of that we can then understand what is happening and why. And then, our hearts are moving towards opening. As long as we don't look at these things, we can't actually resolve them. That's that importance of that question of the cause of a pattern. Such an important question. And it's such a beautiful question, because when we really go there, when we are ready, and we won't go there if we're not ready, we need to just trust that. It's not dangerous to go there, because we will only go there when it's the right time to go there. So when we go there, when the stubbornness is receding, I don't know if that's the right word, and we allow ourselves, and we are allowed to go there, then transformation can happen. And then the replacement patterns are going to be the new normal. Okay. So one more thing I'm going to say is, and I have packed it in already. Actually, it might be a few more things. When I was reading the text of the stubbornness, and I thought, actually, really my main stubbornness I'm working now is really that hiding and avoiding of who I really am, of that true self, which is there, like in everybody of us. But something is stubbornly holding me back of being able to really let it come out. And something is the fear, and I'm repeating myself here. This is my main thing at the moment in my whole growth practice. It's really looking at this again and again and again, and I wrote down while I was reading, my stubbornness is hiding. By being stubbornly hiding and avoiding, doesn't make sense right now. So I could see that I have stubbornness, but it was hiding. It was hiding a little bit. It doesn't make sense now in this moment. So my stubbornness is hiding. So I couldn't see the stubbornness as well. You know, it was hiding behind that, hiding and avoiding. And I did realize how stubborn hiding and avoiding is. And it's quite nice because I did a Lingyuan on stubbornness, on that type of stubbornness, that specific stubbornness, 2 days ago. And it was quite interesting because suddenly I sometimes, you know, I don't hear a voice, but there are words in my head. Something is, you know, like as if it would be thinking, but it doesn't come from my mind. So it comes from hopefully the true self. And it just said to me, it's okay. It's okay. Relax. Be patient. Don't worry. Let it unfold. You know, because I could see how I get quite tight about it. Quite, you know, stubborn. You know, stubborn in saying, oh, that hiding and avoiding and so it was really that message to me again, and I had these messages before, of that all is okay, that all is okay, it is as it's supposed to be right now, and just do what you do, keep doing what you do, just flow. And I found it really beautiful, and I thought I need to share this with you. And you might have had these messages yourself too, because we can get so quite strong and I'm missing the words here, and set into wanting the change. You know, wanting a change in a pattern, wanting to grow, wanting to have that pattern to let go. And so it's just really again reassuring that it's all unfolding the way it's supposed to unfold in our growth, in our lives, it's that coming down to that trust again, trust in our true self, trust in the universe. And okay, there's a lot of stubbornness. Yeah, repeating myself. So Jay, I would like to check in quickly with you. I'm sure there were lots of thoughts going through your mind.
Yeah. So beautiful. Nice. You know, I was actually just feeling the heart connection with you and the transmission and just listening from a heart space. And I just thought, years ago when we discovered your answer and was like, wow, you can communicate with a person at this heart level. It's so special. And now for me that I have friends and community that I have that connection with, it's so cool. And I'm just hoping that the rest of the group could feel the heart connection. And I hope that we can continue that as it becomes a conversation, just to meet at that level. When you talked about the openness, the angle that came to me, the perspective that came to me was that when I'm in my patterns, I withdraw into my patterns and my habits, and I hold on to them stubbornly as a way of protecting myself and keeping myself safe. So it's actually sometimes when we talk about the manifestations of patterns, sometimes it's easier to see the habits. You might not see everything, but if you can find one thing, you can hone in on that. So I have a habit of never going out and never wanting to socialize or see people or connect with people, except for our classes. And that could be a healthy habit. That could be a really healthy habit. You know, you've got your practice and you're doing really well. But then I also know there's times, and I know it's different for you guys because like the US has still got partial lockdowns and lockdowns, but over here we can still go out. And I know there's times when I should go out. I should just have that openness to follow my heart, so to speak, to not do the safe thing, because the patterns are the safe thing and you hold on to them really tightly. And so whatever you find, like you just, I find there's all these things and thoughts that I have every day that my mind doesn't, when I observe them, my mind doesn't want to change them. My mind actually just doesn't want to change them. I'll say, you know, my heart will say, hey, why don't we go out to that thing that we were invited to? And my mind will go, no. And then it might even make a story behind it. But that's just one example. It's really interesting to look at any habit you have, whether or not you think it's a bad habit, but you know, there might just be a little habit. Well, I don't know, maybe you think, oh, I'm eating too much chocolate on a daily basis, or I'm drinking too much tea. I can get quite into my tea. And at a certain point, you think, I'd like to change it. But then when you really look closely, you'll see that I don't want to change it feeling. You'll say, I don't want to change it. And I'll just mention now that because it's that stubbornness is protecting ourselves so much, you will also really notice it in relationships, and you'll really notice it. You know how it develops in a toddler. That's how you know, there's moments when I'm like a toddler, you know, I'll just with my wife or something, you know, I'm sure we all are, you know, where they just push that thing where someone just says, hey, do you know you do this? Or hey, you shouldn't do that. Or hey, do you mind stopping that? And you just like put your foot down and you're like, no, I don't want, you know, I don't want that. No. And now that's quite interesting as well, because that can be the pattern of stubbornness. And there's a nuance where you answer said that persistence is a quality worth cultivating. So there's like stubbornness, which is described it in the manual. Stubbornness is persistence without good reasoning behind it. There's no supporting evidence to your stubbornness. It's just a pattern. You're protecting your other patterns without good reason. But persistence is kind of perseverance and grit. And he says it's a quality what we can cultivate. That, but I find that really interesting to observe. When am I being persistent? When am I being stubborn? Yesterday, I was working with my camera, and I'm working with trying to get Facebook Live and my camera to work. Not the camera we're using now, but my DSLR, and trying to get that to work on Facebook Live. And I was looking at myself, and I like literally, it's sunny outside, and though I forget the whole world, I just get stubbornly into downloading software and working out software. And it's so interesting to observe. When is it like, you know, good for you, and when is it not? Like a little bit of persistence for your standing form or for your practice. If you had no persistence, you wouldn't turn up to class. So it's so interesting. I'm just going to settle back in. I'm not sure if there's anything else I want to add. I'll just take a second. I just guess because I've been noticing this openness, not the openness, that is my biggest replacement pattern for it, but the noticing the stubbornness. And then when it comes up, I actually kind of question myself, like, but what if we just did it? or what if it didn't matter, like, but like actually kind of that maybe taking a chance in life, or just engaging with reality and not hiding from it, like what if that was just as good an option? We always think, we stubbornly hold on to something because we think it's true, like I'm not going to go anywhere because I don't want to see people, because people are difficult, and then I won't be able to do my practice. I could that's actually a thought. This narrative that we create, it's like these reasons, but then you could say to yourself, but what if? Sabina, perfect timing. You need to take yourself off mute though.
I like how you found out how to have both of us on. Well done. Good persisting.
I have no idea how it happened.
So yeah, thank you. Thank you. That was good. And yeah, I can see that maybe again what you said, is it persisting or is it stubborn? It does come down to ask that question. Am I still in my heart? Or am I just, like you yesterday, trying to be persisting and figuring out how you work that camera in the setting you wanted? In that moment, I guess you could say, yeah, but maybe it was good to persist and to try. But if we actually get into stubbornness, then we block that spark of creative realization, or that you click on the right link because that's where you needed to go. So it's interesting. It would maybe sometimes be better to say, okay, I'm going out now. I have noticed it. That out there, it's nice. And then when you come back, it all unfolds in a different way.
That's so. I'll just add, because I work from home, and a lot of it is on the computer, and sometimes going for a walk, just on a practical level, just going for a walk, like, yeah, being open to the flow of life, just kind of how there's so much beauty in every moment that if you're open to it.
It's actually quite interesting because we have completely lost the ability to actually listen, because we are overriding constantly. So, you are at your computer and suddenly there comes a thought, walk, and it would be nice if we would learn to then just drop everything and take that word which has come up in our mind as what came from the true self to help you, but more often we hear it and then we just say, no, I'm going to keep going, so we override. Actually, we don't listen anymore. I think if we could open up more to these subtle things and just learn to just go with it, even if it sometimes might feel like it's not a good thing in that moment, it will be a good experiment to get into too.
I want to add one more thing, which is that when I'm in my patterns, often there's a quality of me. I'm thinking about me. Is it good for me? Is it good for my survival? And then when I'm in my heart, me becomes us, or I'm still me, but it's us. So then the actions I take, me is, I am part of it, but I'm not all of it. So I can often discern where it comes from in that way, where a thought comes from.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good. Let's leave it here. And I want to throw out a question to the whole group. And I would like to get a hand up for the answer you would like to give. I give you two options. One is we stay in the bigger group. You know, we're not a massive group. But thanks, Jay. So just be really gentle with yourself. Whatever is going to unfold in this Lingyuan, be gentle and loving with yourself. That's the only way we should be with ourselves and with anybody else and with everything. This is what we are working towards in our growth. It is to be gentle and loving and patient in our lives. So, as you come inside with your awareness, just let that state take over. The state you may know pretty well. Sometimes it may take longer to get there than other times. Sometimes you might not be able to get into that state at all. Again, gentleness, patience, compassion with that. Doesn't matter. So, and if I say that state, it's a very individual thing again. Not everybody experiences a beautiful, deep, unified, relaxed, calm, harmonious state the same. So, if you ever felt unification with the heart, with your own heart, feel that again. Your heart and your shin and your E, consciousness and true self. They're unified. How did that feel? See if you can allow yourself to fall into that place of unification and openness and softness. Very possible it's a very still space. It's not going to be a busy place. Very calm. And whatever it feels for you like, be with it. And be gentle with yourself if it's not quite as you want it to be. Just accept what is. Sometimes with that acceptance, suddenly something changes. And other times we just accept and therefore it's not a problem. And then from that place, wherever you are now, connect to your heart and ask the question. Beautiful shin. E. How is this pattern of stubbornness playing out in my life? Can you please show me? And then listen or watch or however it is unfolding for you. Feel. Can you be gentle with what you see? Loving? And then maybe, beautiful Shen Yi, it would be so good to see the cause, to see deeper into what the cause or the causes or whatever is the reason for me to, the cause for me to have this pattern, the way it plays out, the way you just showed me. Why? Why? If you see anything, be with yourself in that, with compassion and love. Shen Yi, please, can you show me a reason, like why I'm still doing this today in my life right now? And again, I will look at it with compassion and love. What's the reason I'm holding on to this? Feel it and accept what you feel. There is no wrong or right. And then just to look at or allow your Shin to show you what this is actually doing to you and your life and your relationships, to your growth. And again, with gentleness, because there could, there could be lots of harshness in looking at the negative effects. Now, look at it with compassion. Wow, beautiful Sabina, beautiful whoever you are. Wow, look at it. And out of seeing it that way, you might really feel your intention about it. It might be a very, very clear yes. It might be a hesitant yes. It might be still a no, I'm not ready to let go of it. anything is okay. Just listen and observe and accept and feel it. No blaming, no judging. And whatever answer you hit, doesn't matter. We can still focus on the replacement patterns. The patterns we want to start using in the future when we would have used stubbornness. So let's feel that openness. Feel your heart open. Feel your mind open. You know, and seeing somebody else's position or opinion or viewpoint doesn't mean that you have to change yours. You might, but just being open to see and to walk in the moccasins of somebody else is going to transform the experience and the action coming out of that. So that openness and that trust that you can be open, that it's okay to be open. That trust that we can let go of being stubbornly holding on to something, even to a pattern. And you might feel it very clearly in your heart, in your true self, that trust. And then you might still catch yourself in the pattern. That's okay. It's a process. It's changing a lifelong habit. It's changing a generational habit, a cultural habit, a historical habit. So it might take time. It might not. It might just be boom, gone. Whatever is okay. And then as you feel and see what this replacement patterns can do for you and your life and your relationship. Wow. It is possible. Let's be patient and persistent without being stubborn. And allow this to unfold the way it needs to unfold. We just trust that. We trust that and we take the actions we can hear and feel we need to take. And then open your arms out to the side. And see if you can feel that unification of your body with the chi in and around you, with your heart and the heart of the universe, with your shin and that connection to the universe, your shin being the universe. and everything in it. With your consciousness, your mind, which makes the life in our body possible. We need our mind. We can love our mind. We just have to become the director of it. Instead of being directed by it. And then feel the unification with the light and the wisdom of the universe. You're becoming the light. You are the wisdom of the universe. Connect to that bit. Even if it might return to go back to the patterns afterwards, but right now, just connect to this wisdom. You are the wisdom of the universe, and feel it. Feel it in your heart. And then you can slowly move your arms back, choose your rhythm, bringing all of it back to your heart. You are everything. You are total unified with everything. And maybe you can notice and feel the gratitude coming up, welling up for all of this. For the beauty of this unification, for this life. Wow. And whenever you're ready, I would like you to all do your own hidden face or whatever way you want to get yourself back, or you can just stay there too, staying connected, playing with this unification in daily life. Jay, would you stop the recording, please?